Hi guys, I'm Chelsea Joe from Nomadic Ambitions, and this is part 1 of the Nimbus 2000 tutorial. Let's get started. So this series is going to walk you through how to turn this template into this beautiful replicated piece. These photos were taken by my friend Ash Snapham Photography, by the way. Thanks, Ash. So getting started, let's talk about materials for a second. You're going to need printer and paper, 12 by 8 by 2 cut of wood, jigsaw, bandsaw, and optional orbital sander. You can get all of these from any hardware store. Brand absolutely does not matter. Or borrow from a friend or makerspace. So how do we get a template? Well, there are a ton of options for scaling. Personally, I used rasterbait.com. You're just going to import your image. This image I took from signreplicas.com and just cropped what I didn't need off of the photo. As you can see, it will show you a person as a scale and you just tinker with sizes from there. Additionally, I scoured the internet for this picture, which shows a particular scaling. This just required more math and I don't like math. But if you don't like rasterbait, you don't like predetermined scales, that's okay. There are a ton of other programs out there like Knife Gun that do the exact same thing. Or you can even use projector systems, which is a neat trick I learned from Kazool Cosplay, who ironically was a judge when I entered the Nimbus at Acon. So thanks Kazool for this trick. So whatever program or method that you use, it's fine. There's no wrong answer here. So once you get your pattern, there are a few things to keep in mind. You're going to need a 12 by 8 by 2 board to trace it on, but make sure the board has no bowing, and this is really important. It needs minimal knots. Knots are going to create a lot of problems down the line for you, so just do your best to find a perfect board. Secondly, make sure the rounded edge of your pattern is away from the end of the board, unlike this picture, and place the entire pattern in the middle of the board. This is important because we're going to be doing a ton of routing work later, and you need to make sure there is enough area to carve out and round those edges. Next, it's really important to make the following marks. These are your relief cuts. This will relieve a lot of stress on your bandsaw on the curves of the core and limit the risk of the saw blade snapping at you. I did not make relief cuts the first time, and that was not wise. I broke the blade and it took 3 times as long to cut. So let's be smart and let's make some relief cuts. This is what that's going to look like. So you're going to want to take the jigsaw and cut these lines right up to a hair before the main core line. Next, just feed the wood through the bandsaw as normal. Remember, safety first. It's sexy. You need a mask and eye protection. And you need to feed the board slowly. This is a really thick cut of wood, and the faster you rip through, the more potential you have for chip out. And you don't want to overstress the teeth. If you come across a difficult cut, just make another relief cut. And finally, this is an optional step, but I found it extremely helpful. When it's all cut, take it to an orbital sander. This is not where all your rounding is going to happen, but it's definitely a helper. Orbitals aren't fast and are dependent on how much pressure you apply, but this can help clear chip out and alleviate some of the work that you're going to do later on, which your shoulders will appreciate. So that's it for part 1. Next part is going to cover routing and shaping. See you soon.